established church can be transfused with new life within it and become healthier, organic. We've seen this happen many times, and there's a book we've come out with called Church Transfusion that explains it, and it gives 5 examples of very different kinds of churches that have all been transfused. What's necessary, though, it's not church transition. It's not like having a better goal, a new logo, a fresh identity, a better worship band, or another staff, or better curriculum. All those things, none of those things change the church. A different goal doesn't change the church, it just sets the same church in a different direction. To change a church, you have to literally change the cells of that church, the people, the disciples. So in order to have a transfusion, the life of Christ has to be introduced into the disciples in a new, fresh way. So we talk about transfusion because what's really necessary is a transfusion of fresh DNA into the life of the disciples. Now for us, DNA is real simple. It's divine truth, nurturing relationships, and apostolic mission. Those 3 things must be within every disciple, not just a small group. Groups don't make disciples. Disciples make disciples. So we must have fresh disciples that have that DNA. Now, changing the DNA of a body, it's impossible, right? We would have done it a long time ago if it was possible. It's a work of science fiction. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But right now, you can't do it. However, we also understand that resurrection is impossible. Resurrection is a work of science fiction. And resurrection is something we all experience and long to experience and believe in. So I believe you can change the DNA of an established church, but what it means is you have to have a resurrection. In order to have a resurrection, you're going to have a death. So I think for an established church to truly transfuse, it has to have a memorial service. It has to decide we're going to die to who we were, to who we are, and let Christ birth something new in us. And that might sound harsh, but the true reality is that's the gospel. If we can't accept the gospel, then we are a counterfeit church. Truly the gospel is dying to yourself and living for Christ. I have been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. The life which I now live by faith, I live in the Son of God, by faith in the Son of God who loved me and delivered himself up for me. This is the core of our belief. It's where church starts, and it's where church should be every day. Paul said, I die daily. So I think what we need to do is get back to the place where we're comfortable with dying to ourselves and allowing Christ to birth something new in us. That's threatening to some, but I think that's the only path to truly have a transfusion of new life in the cells of the body so that it can reproduce, be healthy, and grow.